we went on our first trip. We drove 200 miles to the coast and back. And then we had mechanical failure after just 200 miles. That was great. But that's what used car ownership is like. That's what owning a piece of shit is like. Luckily, this piece of shit is big and simple, and there aren't that many parts, so I'm going to attempt to do this myself. Thank you to Laurel and Jacob for donating money to my Snapchat. Allowed me to get a ratchet kit, so I'm going to, fix this shit up. So today's episode is sponsored by Jacob and Laurel from Snapchat. Appreciate you guys. I've already gotten started. My parts aren't here yet, but I'm basically... Well, okay. I should explain the problem. I am not firing on all cylinders right now. I'm actually only getting proper spark and combustion on about half of the cylinders. These ones down here are totally good, right? These ones on this side are not good. Like, none of them are good. And I'm leaking gasoline because I got a bolt somewhere up in this area that is not tightened all the way. And I'm leaking uncombusted gasoline. I don't know if it's a untightened bolt problem or the piston pushing up on gas that's not able to ignite and just squishing it out the sides through a gasket somewhere. But it's leaking all over this exhaust manifold, and I am shocked that it hasn't caught fire yet. That's pretty nice. I did this on an old Jeep before, and it wasn't too bad. But here it's like half of the engine is under the dashboard here. So I'm pretty sure I can do this. It's just going to be a pain in the ass. I'm still waiting on parts at the moment, but I'm just working on the teardown. And the teardown on this thing's not actually as hard as it sounds, that job. I'm just taking things apart, trying to remember where they go back together. I already messed with the entire air system on this thing, and that wasn't too complicated. So I'm getting that up and out of the way, giving myself a little more room to work with. Once I got enough room to pull out the coils and spark plugs, I'm just going to go ahead and swap all of them and see if that fixes my problem here. Everything else seems fine, so hopefully that's just it. Once that's done, then I'm just waiting on my parts to get here, and I can open up my manual and torque everything to the right specification and see if I can get it fired up and running nicely again. At least until I can fix that bolt issue. So I managed to get just 3 spark plugs out now. I really don't want to take off this fuel rail just because it seems like such a pain in the ass to do. And I just don't want to put out that much effort. So what I need right now is to get off, where is it? Let me see if I can find it on my little camera. Right down there is the last coil. The little black thing with the, looks like a spigot coming off of it. And the little bolt holding it in, the little 7mm bolt right there. I can't fucking get any tools there. It's taking me forever. So I don't know, honestly my last option might be needing to take that off, or I really don't want to. It seems like a lot of effort. If I could find like a U-joint type thing for my wrench, my ratchet, or if I could find just a little 7mm wrench, but of course I can't find that at all. Getting there. Just gotta keep your spirits up, and if I move too slow, I'm gonna forget which bolt goes where, so yeah. It's raining. It's like 60 degrees out, and came out to Vic's car this morning and it's covered in leaves. I guess summer's kind of officially over. I mean, it's late September. It's fall, which is great. I love fall, but I was really hoping we'd be out somewhere by now. I was hoping I'd be on a beach, honestly, by now. I mean, my quarter starts up on September 30th-ish. Yeah, September 30th. And I was hoping we'd be able to just park somewhere else and I could just pull up the desk in the van and just get working over there so that my breaks would look a lot nicer, a little bit better scenery than Tacoma, Washington. But that's alright. I got like half a week. The van is out of commission, so I got, like 6 days? 4 to 6 days to get it up and running with my limited mechanical knowledge and limited funds. But I got a good attitude. So hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of this video that we'll have that up and running. I'm not optimistic, but that would be the goal, to get that van up and running so that we can get back to this new toilet here and make some fun toilet related content for you guys, because I know that that's why you guys come to this channel. So this is what I'm working with today. It's wet. I don't really have a garage I can pull into because I'm, again, at my girlfriend's mom's house. Alright, so I got this tarp pinned between my windshield wipers and up over the hood of the vehicle. I'm gonna try to clean out these spark plugs. A spark plug job should be simple, right? It should take no time at all. The reason why this is taking me so long is because there's actually debris down around, you know, the bolty part of this spark plug where my socket is supposed to grab it. And I can't get to it because I'm working with like this much space here. And I'm lazy, I don't want to take apart this whole fuel rail, so in order to even get the plugs out, I'm using like 2 adapters. I think it's gonna be fine though. Look, I know this content might not be the most interesting, but like, trust me, I don't want to make mechanic videos either. I'm not a mechanic, and someone's gonna notice I'm doing something wrong, which is fine, because then I'll find out that I'm doing that thing wrong. I'm sure a little bit after I've already put all this shit back together. But, you know what, I don't want to make this content either. I would rather be like at a beach somewhere, filming boring beach videos, but I don't know. Maybe this is less fun for you, the more fun that I'm having. So, good thing. I know that this aspect of the build isn't exactly fun or sexy, but I think it's kind of a given. I mean, many parts of my life, a surprising amount as it turns out, is not very fun or sexy. Which is kind of a bummer, but you know, you deal with it. I hope you at least get a little bit of fun out of watching me try to MacGyver the situation together. You know, doing everything I can, sans of hiring an actual mechanic to do this shit for me. But that's kind of the whole point, is trying to do this on a budget, right? I mean, sure, I am not the best builder out there. Absolutely not. I'm not even close to the best van building content available on YouTube. But one of the things that appeals to me about this project in particular is that, you know, with travel blogs, the reason why they're so popular is that it's, I think at least, an unattainable thing for many people who watch that sort of thing. So it's fun to live vicariously through that means, but I don't really intend for anybody to live vicariously through my videos. I think what I'm doing is incredibly attainable for anybody watching this. I mean, you could do this easy. You could tape a piece of hose to a vacuum and put it in a little hole. That part's not even hard. The hard part is taking an even smaller hose and sticking it into the second hose. That requires a little bit of technical skill. If interested, I will post a tutorial on that little maneuver I did just there, in case anybody's curious about how I got that done. I can't really see down to this hole that I'm working on, because it's, you know, it's way in there. So what I'm doing is I got my phone here with the flash on, and I'm taking a video from the top side here with my flash on, so I can try to get a better view down in there. It's not working too well so far, to be honest. I don't even know if you guys will be able to hear me over this rain. Kind of nice though. Very Washington. I got it. I got it, guys. What I also got is a bunch of gross shit in my engine. But tomorrow's problems for tomorrow's me, am I right? I don't know, maybe the shit will burn up as soon as it explodes. Hopefully. Hopefully. I mean, look, I only want to get another 100,000 miles out of this engine anyways, so we will see what happens. So I was finally able to get all the spark plugs and coils out. I know it looks like I'm wearing a different hoodie than I was at the last moment of the video, but that's because I got frustrated and I went home. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. Luckily, Vic's mom's neighbor, Tom, over here, that way, has an air compressor, right? I tried, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, fishing the gunk out with the bent coat hanger. I don't know when I had a can of compressed air here a second ago. But nothing was working, but he had a little attachment for his air compressor, and that worked perfect. Just blew each little hole out, all the gunk, took like 10 seconds each, and it really bummed me out thinking about how much time I spent fishing around on the other ones. But it's going smoothly now, got all debris out, and I'm ready to reinstall the spark plugs. Now, the key issue at this point, or the most complicated thing coming up for this part of the job, is getting my torque wrench in here in all these tiny spaces. I mean, it's a big, like 2-foot long torque wrench. I don't really have a smaller option available. So I guess what I'm really hoping is that my adapters, my extensions, don't really drastically affect the perceivable torque, you know, because every extension I put on, especially the bendy part, you know, the little U-joint, I would expect to add a little bit of leverage to it, and that leverage should affect the accuracy of the torque, right? But I don't use torque wrenches very often, so that's just my thinking. I don't know that for sure. So, why am I doing a video and or a segment of a video on rust treatment and cleaning and painting and all that jazz? Because, well, if you have watched the previous video and or previous part of this video, you would know that we have a pretty bad exhaust leak here where I've got 2 broken studs off the engine that are supposed to hold the back half of that exhaust manifold in place, but it isn't half knot, and I just have exhaust. Currently gasoline, but hopefully eventually exhaust, just pumping out of that hole. And I have decided to not do anything about it. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore it. So that does present a potential danger to me in that we now have toxic poisonous gas being pumped directly into this area here. I mean, if this was a truck or a car, wouldn't be half as worried about it because this would be sealed. But this is a van where half of the engine is under the dashboard here with this huge access, which presents the possible issue of toxic gas getting, namely carbon monoxide, getting into the cab and killing me or my girlfriend's dog while we're driving. And none of those things sound phenomenal to me, guy. I don't know. So what we got to do, since we're just going to ignore that, is make sure that we have a really tight seal around this edge here between this and the cover that goes over that. And one thing I could do is get new gaskets for it, a new weather stripping thing, but that is not exactly perfect when the thing that it's supposed to mate with, the seal, is rusting and it has these holes in it and it's not in the best condition. So what we're going to do is clean it up, try to deal with those rust spots where we can as best as we can, and paint it, have a nice smooth surface that we can apply silicone to, and just apply a nice heavy bead of silicone around the whole thing to fill in any gaps, to fill in any gaps where the actual weather stripping on the doghouse cover, that's what the big plastic thing here is called, the doghouse cover, would be. You might have noticed about a week has passed since the last 5 seconds of the video, and you might have noticed that because I just told you that just now. You're very perceptive. Anyways, long story short, I did not end up doing the thing that I said I was going to do in the last part of the video that just happened. Because I got lazy, I got the van running, and I was super stoked about having it running, that I was like, we're good, I'll just do the next part later, which is what I plan on doing. We ended up taking a trip out to Mount Rainier, and we were just careful about having the windows cracked and, just looking out for that sort of thing, which is irresponsible, but we seem to be okay, and I'm glad that we are okay. Cody's alright. Anyways, I'll be putting out a video about that, and I will eventually get to dealing with that situation, but upon pulling off the rubber mat of the floor, I realized that our rust situation is quite a bit more serious than I had expected it to be. So that's probably going to be a whole video worth of content itself, where we got to pull out the chairs, take out the carpet, and deal with all of the floor pan rust in one solid go with my inability to weld and my limited materials available to me. So we're going to be doing something that works, hopefully. Anyways, thank you for watching this, and I will probably post a video about that trip and the rust treatment problem when I get to it. So thanks.